You feed them. You pet them. You think you're doing everything right. But for cats, some things once broken can never be undone. They won't yell. They won't scold. But they will remember. Today, we'll uncover 10 moments your cat might never truly forgive. Not out of anger, but out of heartbreak. You're sitting on the couch, scrolling through your phone, and your cat quietly walks over. They don't meow. They don't beg. They just gently press their head against your hand or curl up beside your leg. It lasts only a moment, barely noticeable. Maybe you're in the middle of something. Maybe you didn't even realize they were asking for attention. But to your cat, that was them reaching out. Their way of saying, "Hey, I trust you." And when that moment passes, unnoticed, it doesn't just disappear. Cats don't ask twice. Not because they're proud, but because they're sensitive. Unlike dogs, cats won't nudge you over and over for affection. They offer it once, and then wait. Wait to see if you noticed. Wait to feel if they mattered. Over time, if these little gestures are missed again and again, your cat might stop trying altogether, not out of anger, but out of quiet sadness. So the next time your cat leans in, even just a little, notice it. Pause. Let them know. I see you. I'm here. And I care. That small moment, it's the kind of thing a cat never forgets. Either way. Maybe you were just frustrated. The remote was missing. The cat knocked over a glass. You raised your voice. Just a little. A sharp "hey." A loud sigh. Maybe even a scolding word or two. To you, it was a moment. A reaction. But to your cat, it was a thunderstorm. Cats have incredibly sensitive hearing. They can hear a mouse under the floorboards, a fly buzzing across the room. So imagine what your voice sounds like when it suddenly spikes with tension. To them, it's not just loud, it's unpredictable. And unpredictable means unsafe. Your cat might freeze, or run, or look at you, wide-eyed and confused. And that look? That's not guilt. It's fear. Fear that the world, you, aren't safe anymore. They may forgive the moment, but they remember the feeling. And too many of those moments can slowly chip away at their trust in you. So the next time you feel your voice rising, pause. Take a breath and try a softer tone. Because cats don't need volume to understand. They need calm. They need safety. They need you, steady. Even when you're upset, that's what they'll remember. Not what you said, but how it felt to hear it. They're just lying there, all stretched out, paws in the air, snoring softly. You walk by, and, ugh, they look too cute. So you poke their belly, or scoop them up, or whisper, "Wakey, wakey." We've all done it, because in that moment, they feel like a plush toy. Soft, squishy, irresistible. But here's the thing. Your cat wasn't just lounging, they were sleeping. And to a cat, sleep isn't a luxury. It's survival. Cats sleep up to 15 hours a day, sometimes more. It's how they recharge, regulate stress, and feel safe in their environment. So when they're jolted awake, especially over and over, it doesn't just annoy them. It makes them feel on edge. They start napping in more hidden places, avoiding your lap, sleeping with one eye half open, just in case. All because the place that was once peaceful suddenly isn't. And no, they won't throw a tantrum. They'll just quietly drift away, emotionally. So the next time you see your cat deep in slumber, belly rising and falling, paws twitching from a dream, let them be. Let them stay in that safe little world they trust. Because when you respect their sleep, you're telling them, "You're safe here, I've got you." And that, they always remember. It starts playfully. You tug their tail, tap their ears, wiggle your fingers just out of reach. They swat, maybe hiss, or just stare at you with wide, unblinking eyes. You laugh. "It's just a game," you say. But to your cat, it wasn't. Cats don't joke. They don't tease back. They don't know the difference between playful and disrespectful. Because for them, touch is trust. And when that trust gets tangled in confusion or discomfort, it leaves a mark, especially when it involves the tail. You see, a cat's tail isn't just a cute little whip of fur. It's part of their spine, their balance, their communication. Pulling on it? It's not a joke. It's pain. Even gentle teasing can feel like betrayal, especially if it happens often. They may start avoiding your hands, refusing belly rubs, flinching when you reach out. Not because they don't love you, but because they don't understand you anymore. And that disconnection? That's the real heartbreak. So if you truly want to play, play right. Use toys that bring out their hunter spirit. Let them chase, pounce, win. Because when play feels safe, it builds connection. But when it feels like a trap, it builds distance. And cats? They never forget who made them feel small. You're excited. There's a new friend visiting, or a new puppy. Or maybe you just want a cuddle. So you scoop your cat up, or nudge them toward the stranger, or carry them into the room and say, "It's okay, say hi." But here's what your cat feels: trapped, overwhelmed, not ready. Cats are creatures of choice. They decide when to come close, who to trust, and how long to stay. And when those choices are taken away, even by someone they love, it doesn't feel like love. It feels like panic. Their ears flatten. Their tail flicks. Their body stiffens. That's not them being moody. That's their way of saying, too much, too fast. And if it keeps happening, they learn to associate your hands with pressure, your presence with pushiness, your home with tension. But it doesn't have to be that way. Let them approach new people on their terms. Give them space when they pull away. Sit quietly. Wait. Because when you wait, and they come to you, that moment is real. It's not forced. It's trust. And that kind of trust, it lasts a lifetime. But if you rush it, well, cats never forget being pushed before they were ready. You've seen the videos. A cat leaps 3 feet in the air because someone placed a cucumber behind them. Or they're dressed up like a pirate. Hat, cape, even an eye patch. It's hilarious. The internet loves it. But your cat didn't sign up for the show. To them, that cucumber? It wasn't a vegetable. It was a snake, a predator, an invasion. And the costume? Not cute, restrictive, confusing, unnatural. Cats thrive on predictability and control. When something suddenly startles them or restricts their movement, it doesn't make them laugh. It makes them feel unsafe. Even if they got over it in a few minutes, the emotional imprint lingers. They may avoid that room, hide more, or start sleeping in tighter, more hidden spots, just in case the world turns unpredictable again. And the worst part? they don't understand why it happened. They trusted you, and suddenly they became the punchline. So, if you love your cat, let them keep their dignity. Let them be silly on their own terms, because they will. They'll chase shadows, fall off the couch, get startled by a feather. It's adorable, and it's real. But never turn their fear into a joke, because cats remember how you made them feel long after the camera stops rolling. They're pouncing, swatting, rolling on their back like tiny wrestlers, and you join in. A little foot nudge here, a finger wiggle there. It's fun, until it isn't. Because here's what often gets lost in the laughter. Cats don't understand when play turns rough, especially when it involves your hands or your feet. They learn through patterns, and if the pattern is hands equals swatting, grabbing, chasing, that's how they'll see your hands. Not as affection, but as something to defend against. What starts as a game can become confusion, and that confusion builds distance. Your cat might start biting harder, scratching for real, or backing away when you reach out, because now they're unsure what's coming next. And deep down, they don't want to hurt you. They just don't want to be hurt either. So give them clarity. Play with toys, wands, strings, feathers on sticks. Let your hands mean comfort, not chaos. Because when they know what to expect, they feel safe. And when they feel safe, they come closer. Not just in play, but in trust. Cats don't hate fun, but they do remember who made fun feel like fear. You rearranged the furniture, moved their litter box, cleared the windowsill they always slept on because, well, it looked cluttered. To you, it's just cleaning. To your cat, it's chaos. Cats are territorial by nature. Not in a possessive way, but in a deeply emotional way. Every corner they nap in, every spot they rub their scent onto, every path they walk along the windowsill, it all forms their invisible map of safety. So when you change that map, even just a little, it can feel like their entire world has shifted. They may avoid the room, hide more, or pace, sniffing around like something precious has gone missing. Because to them, it has. It's not about being fussy. It's about feeling grounded. And when the things that ground them keep changing, so does their ability to relax, to trust, to feel at home. That doesn't mean you can never move things around, but when you do it gently. Give them time to explore the new layout. Add familiar scents, cozy textures, and reassuring presence. Because when a space feels safe, they stay. But when it feels unfamiliar, they drift. And cats? They never forget the day home stopped feeling like theirs. They scratched the couch, knocked over a glass, missed the litter box. Again, you're tired, frustrated. So you scold, maybe raise your voice, maybe spray water, maybe point a finger and say, "No, bad cat." But here's the thing. Your cat doesn't know what they did wrong. Not really. Cats don't connect actions with punishment the way humans or even dogs sometimes do. They don't think, "I shouldn't have scratched that." They think, "Something scary just happened, and it came from you." Even worse is when the reaction changes every time. One day you laugh when they jump on the counter. The next, you yell. To a cat, this isn't discipline, it's confusion. And confusion breeds anxiety. Anxiety turns into avoidance. And eventually, mistrust. What they do understand, deeply, is energy, tone, consistency. So instead of punishment, try redirection. Reward good behavior. Guide them gently. Use Soft words and still hands. Because what you're really teaching isn't about the couch. It's about the relationship. Cats don't thrive on fear. They bloom in trust. And when that trust is shaken, even once, they remember. Not to hold a grudge, but to protect their heart. You feed them. You clean the litter box. You make sure they have water. But then days go by. No brushing. No quiet sit-downs. No gentle check-ins. Just routine. And to us, that seems fine. Life gets busy. They're independent, right? But to your cat, those little moments are everything. The slow blink you didn't return, the soft meow you missed while scrolling, the tangled fur patch no one brushed, the litter box cleaned a little too late. Tiny things. But to them, they speak loudly. Because cats don't shout when they feel overlooked. They withdraw. They nap farther away. They groom less. They stop following you from room to room. And if you're not paying attention, you might not even notice they're asking, "Do I still matter to you?" The truth is, cats love quietly, and they feel neglect the same way, not in big, dramatic gestures, but in silence. So take the extra minute, brush the fur, sit beside them without your phone, look into their eyes, and just be there. Because to a cat, being seen, really seen, means everything. And when they feel it, they stay. Not just in your home, but in your heart. Cats may not hold grudges, but they do hold memories. Every moment, kind or careless, shapes how they see us. So let's choose to be the one they never have to forgive. The one who listens, who pauses, who sees them fully. If this touched your heart, join us for more stories like this. And if your cat has ever done one of these things, tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear your story.